Well, today's an exciting day to me in the field of smoking cessation. I don't really get many exciting days in smoking cessation. The reason being, usually things that come out that are really big news items and really big news stories, they're by pharmaceutical industries who found something and who are blasting it all over the place, and it's usually a study that they funded and how successful all these products, whatever it is that they're promoting, is going to be. It's amazing. It's just almost the entire message that's out there on quitting smoking is done by pharmaceutical companies or by public health officials who are just promoting what the pharmaceutical companies are doing. I had always said, whenever I was dealing with anybody when it came to understanding how people quit smoking, I always said, if you really want to find out how to quit, the successful way is talk to people you know who've quit smoking. Now, when I was dealing with professionals, I would always basically give the advice, like, if you want to find out how really people quit smoking, just, do a poll. Go into the real world and find how have people who've quit smoking quit smoking. We have more former smokers in the country, in the United States right now, than current smokers. So we have tens of millions of people who've quit smoking. And yet, I don't think there was ever, I could never find one before, a study to find out how did those people quit smoking. They keep on reporting how all these products double your chance. Well, that's looking at people who are somehow in studies that are designed by pharmaceutical industries, who are in studies, and how they do compared to people in those same studies who don't use pharmaceutical products. So it's a loaded stack in a way. But we had, again, tens of millions of people who've quit, that if they would just commission a study to find out how they quit, I always assumed it would become very obvious how people quit smoking. Well, today, I come across now a Gallup poll that's done. And it was done, I guess, within the last few weeks, and it basically was showing that when people were asked to categorize how they've quit smoking, they've looked at former smokers. It's a study I've been looking for decades. When they looked at former smokers and they asked them how they quit, 48% of those who successfully quit smoking had done so by cold turkey. I mean, that was what they listed as their main way of doing it. Then that was the number one option, 48%. All the other ones underneath it were like a combination of things that were, 6% and 5% and 3% and 2%. Nicotine gum being like 1%. I just looked at it briefly, so I don't know the numbers in my head right now, but I'm going to link the study. I'm going to link the report into this video so you can go look for it for yourself. Actually, if you actually go and add the numbers up of not just the ones, the 48% that said they were cold turkey, but other methods that were mentioned, that if you really look at them, they're methods that look like they didn't use any quitting aids. They had other things motivating them to start, so they weren't called the cold turkey quitters, but if you looked at the technique, they were the cold turkey quitters. So if you want to go add those numbers into, you'll see the number becomes even much, much higher. But still, the real significance here is the number one way that former smokers say that they quit smoking was cold turkey, which is wonderful to see finally. Now here's another interesting point about this. I happened to come across this because I was looking at a professional smoking cessation site that John had did a post about regarding another issue, but he threw in the thing about this new Gallup poll that was out there. I didn't see anything on the news about this. I haven't seen anything in the normal search engines I use on a regular basis on smoking and nicotine and addiction. Nothing. Nothing. I haven't seen a word about this in the media. And it looks like this has been out for a few days now. I got to tell you that if this Gallup poll was commissioned and it showed that some pharmaceutical product was a number one list, oh my God, this thing would have been blasted on every news station. This would be in every newspaper. This would be all over the media right now. Right now, you can't find it. It's not there for anyone to see. This is telling. It, again, just goes to show you that unless there's a way of making money out of this, this is a public health issue. Unless there's a way that someone's going to make a big buck out of a result, you just don't see the result. Well, we'll start blasting it all over the place. John's actually very good about doing this, about getting it up at Why Quit and then to organizations. Again, they'll try to bury it. They'll be people coming in somehow discrediting it. But this is a study which, if you ever want to verify it yourself, it's the same research I've always told you to do. Go into your real world and see what has the greatest resemblance to this study when you ask the question of people you know who quit smoking and have now been off all nicotine for at least a year. Again, I always base it on this. If you want to find out how you successfully break free from nicotine, break free from smoking and the grip that nicotine has, go find out people you know who are off nicotine and find out how they did it. And you will find the vast majority of them did go cold turkey. I got a whole video about that. I will attach in also to this video description. Anyway, what's important right now is not what I'm saying. What's important right now is what that study is saying. So this video is basically directing you to go look at that study, to go look at the poll. There's actually a video that was produced by Gallup about this. I'm going to attach that into this video too, into the video description. So go take a look, and you're going to realize how people quit smoking. And if you're currently a smoker and you want to quit just like the majority did, you'll understand what you need to do, and then once you do it, and once you pull it off, if you want to keep that quit going forever, it'll be a matter of sticking to hopefully what will be a personal commitment you make the day you stop to never take another puff.